Okay, hello. We have come to the end. It is time for your final essay. And there are a couple of changes I've made to the schedule, and it's sort of a negation of a claim I made on the course syllabus that there would be no bonus in this class. I've decided to tack on a bonus assignment to this final essay as well. In addition, I realize that I'm one day late. It's been crazy with no childcare and still doing online advising for the University of Windsor and juggling everything. So my apologies, I'm one day late, but I've altered the deadline. This was initially due the 22nd of April. Now it's due the 24th, so I've given you 2 extra days to make up for my one day late. So this is an unusual semester, so that's why there is an optional, completely optional bonus writing assignment. I'm not asking you to do anything extra. I'm not requiring you to do anything extra, but if you'd like some bonus marks, it's just a very short, sort of reflective analytical paper that I've added in here. Before I get into this assignment, some of you have gotten your grades back for the second essay. I will be working on that today, hopefully by the end of today. Certainly by the end of the weekend, everybody will have their grades for the second essay. So a little bit behind on that. This has been crazy. This is a completely unprecedented situation. The good thing is we're an online class, so it's a lot of our expectations and a lot of the structure of the learning that we're doing here is not wildly distinct from what was the plan anyway, but nonetheless, allowances should be made. And my apologies, I've dropped the ball a little bit as well. The first couple of, most of the first page of this assignment is just boilerplate that you've seen before. Properly cite using APA, MLA, Chicago, a recognized format. So this is the final of the essays, 500 to 750 words. That's 2 to 3 pages or something along those lines. Get them to me on Moodle. Make sure you get me your file and I will grade it for you. Plagiarize, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. If you're unsure how not to plagiarize, how to avoid plagiarism, go to the SiteRite link that I've included on the course syllabus and go through the plagiarism tutorial from Kresge Library. Due date is no longer April 22nd, but April 24th at 11:55 p.m. That is 5 minutes to midnight. So I've given you all of the 24th. That'll give me the 25th and the 26th and the 27th to grade. The registrar's office has been a little bit more permissive than normal with regard to grading turnaround, but as such, right off the bat, I should warn you on this final assignment, I won't be offering comments as part of the feedback file that I give you, but if you would like commentary on your paper, I will stipulate a date that you can email me and I'd be happy to offer comments and suggestions and feedback if you're interested in such things. That's just for this last essay. So you'll still get feedback for, and some of you already have gotten feedback for your second essay. This is the last one. We're out of time. So if you miss an assignment or are going to miss this assignment, get into contact with me. I'm very limited in what I can do in terms of extra time. Because the grades are due. I have given you extra time on this assignment already, so hopefully that will be sufficient here. And make sure that you get me the right file, because if I don't have it, it's not there. So 500 and 750 words, choose one of the two topics. Format requirements are the same, standard, use 1-inch margins, that's normal on MS Word. Double space, use a 12-point font. They're not research essays, but if you're referencing, reference using a recognized reference style, that sort of thing. Submit your responses in .doc, docx, or PDF, because that way I'll be able to open them. Your essays should have the typical format, introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. I gave you a blueprint for this. Refer to that for structure kind of questions, what should be where. Again, this is not a matter of me requiring a formal structure for your essay, but nonetheless, if you've hit halfway through the second page and I still don't know what your main claim for your essay is, it's unclear, right? And clarity is one of the key requirements, one of the key grading criteria that I apply to this. You should be clearly, concisely, and articulately arguing well your point at this point, right? So this is all designed to help you. Remember, these are supposed to be writing intensive courses. So you're choosing one of the two prompts, one on Nietzsche and one on Sartre. If I ask you to do a few things, make sure you do them all. Break them down into their various parts and make sure you do it all. First question on Nietzsche and his Beyond Good and Evil. Boy, this was a different book, wasn't it? But nonetheless, it's sort of interesting, and let me illustrate why. Nietzsche, distinct from all the ethical theorists that we have studied so far, claims, quote, "We do not object to a judgment because it is false. This is probably what's strangest about our new language." End quote. That's page 7. In the place of a true and false analysis of moral judgments, he's talking about, epistemological judgments too, and we're interested in moral judgments. Nietzsche introduces a standard that would hold that a judgment should further life, preserves the species, and perhaps even it cultivates the species, should take the place of the standard of truth. It is a standard of health, both metaphorical and literal, then, that grounds Nietzsche's moral philosophy. Your job is to formulate an essay that discusses this standard for moral judgment and provide an analysis of Nietzsche's moral philosophy, one that is beyond good and evil. That's again page 7, in light of the current global health crisis brought on by COVID-19. I mean, health, right? Our moral health, right? Our political health, our financial health, our literal health is at stake. So in terms of Nietzsche's moral philosophy, health is the standard. It's not truth. It's not some sort of dispassionate reason like Kant would require that determines whether a principle that you're acting on is correct, right? Judgments that, as he says, right, furthers life, preserves the species, perhaps even cultivates the species, right, are the gold standard for Nietzsche, right? And this gives us a basis to criticize those judgments that stifle life, right, that put life in a precarious position, fail to preserve the species or cultivate the species, are those judgments that should be condemned by this standard, right? So I give you lots in my video material about this standard. I think it's really interesting. I think in that video I presented it, this standard in terms of post-truth. I mean, this still gives us some critical teeth, right? Even if we are existing within a moral and political realm that is post-truth. Right? Now, the theme of health that Nietzsche introduces seems to be all the more potent now. Right? Now, that was your Nietzsche question. That's option one. Right? So if you like Nietzsche, that's the way to go, and I think it's sort of important. Secondly, for start, by introducing the existential implications of the tension between freedom and responsibility in human existentialism and human emotion, start aims to show that no choice or action occurs in isolation from the choices and actions of others. He draws out this inference by introducing the emotional dispositions, namely anxiety, forlornness, and despair, which should be associated with actions and choices if we take the creed of existentialism, which reads, "Existence precedes essence," seriously. Your job is to formulate an essay that introduces Sartre's existentialism, just general introduction, discussing how these emotional dispositions should illustrate our interconnectedness, or, to use his term from page 38, intersubjectivity. Right? Now, the key one there that you should focus on, forlornness and despair are a thing, but anxiety or anguish, where he illustrates it by introducing that in choosing myself, I choose mankind, right, might be the key to teasing this out of the emotions discussed by Sartre, right? So again, your assignment will be evaluated on the basis of the clarity of your response, completeness, understanding exhibited of the course material, and the strength of your argument or insight into the material in question. So those are my standard criteria, right? I'm just evaluating arguments, basically, right? Are you clear? Do you understand the material? Did you do everything I asked? And have you provided a strong argument? Right? Those are the things that I ask when evaluating this. Now, your bonus assignment, right? This will be a short one-page, 200 to 250 word analysis paper that discusses the topic that I've put together below. It should have an introduction, one or two body paragraphs, and a conclusion, and follow the format requirements, that is, file format, font, page layout, referencing, etc., discussed for the third essay above. Right? So the format requirements that I introduce on page 2 of this assignment, if you bothered to print it. The writing assignment will be worth 5 points, or 5% of your final grade. So if you've missed a quiz, this is a great way to grab that 5 back. If you're not happy with your grade, 5% turns a minus into a full or a plus. It turns a B plus into an A minus. It's a substantial bonus, right? I weighted it as the same as one quiz, right? So as stated above, this assignment will be due along with the final essay April 24th by 11:55 p.m., 5 minutes to midnight, and should be included with the file that you upload to Moodle. So the file format thing might be redundant, but anyhow, here's your topic. Given that the past 4 months have shown us in unprecedented ways that we're all connected and reliant upon one another, it's arguable that the contested status of ethics as a field of study is much more important than we typically take it to be. Right? In light of the health crisis and mitigation measures put in place over the past four months, your job is to formulate a brief essay that discusses how something, like anything that we've studied in this course, has helped you understand your moral relationship to your families, your communities, or society more broadly. Put another way, has what we have studied this semester had an impact on your choice making in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic? So take the present scenario, think about this course. Has anything in this course been handy? you know, I also don't want to just sort of self-congratulate with regard to the importance of this course. If you don't find it handy, right? If there's something missing in the course that you think should be there, you can formulate that sort of an argument. Show me where it's missing, right? What I want you to do is reflect on a course in ethics in relation to a global health and thereby ethical crisis, right? So, right, if you found that there was something missing in the course, right, that should have been discussed, that's good feedback for me and good reflection for you, right? If something, right, like Socratic ethics, Aristotelian virtue, Kantian moral philosophy, where human beings are intrinsically valuable, or utilitarian philosophy, I know I assigned that topic for the last essay, was Sartre Nietzsche particularly valuable in helping you think about this, or is there something you needed that you did not get from this course, right? Tell me about that. Formulate a clear, concise, well-argued essay, and it's worth up to 5 bonus points overall in the course. Like I say, it will make up if you missed or did poorly on a quiz, or if you did everything but just wanted to raise your grade. Maybe you didn't do as well on the first or second essays you would have liked. This is another opportunity to raise your grade. It's a substantial bonus. So I hope everybody is safe and healthy and that everybody is taking care of one another. I'm down in my basement because I can't go to my office anymore because we're isolating in order to flatten the curve. Let me know if there is anything you need or any situation that we need to mitigate. I am here to work with you, and the goal is to get you successfully through this course. One final thing that I want to quickly mention. I'm aware that the Office of the Registrar has offered pass-fail grades in the place of a full GPA kind of grade this semester. If you are using that option and if you already have over 50%, that is 50 points in this course between the 30 of the quizzes, the 20 of the first essay, and the 20 of the second essay, and you've elected to go for the pass-fail option, maybe all of this is moot, right? Maybe you don't have to do this, right? If you've already got 50 points in this course, maybe you've passed, and I submit a pass on the pass-fail scale. Anyhow, that's a thought that you should consider and evaluate. To any of you that maybe missed an essay even, you might consider submitting this final one and taking a pass-fail. Also, that might just rescue this course for you as well. I'm not sure about deadlines for that. Maybe that's moot, maybe that's past, but anyhow, if the option's there, consider strategically, like tactically, whether or not it's a good one for you. I wish you all well. It's been a wonderful semester. You'll get grading information from me over this weekend, and you'll get grading from me for the final. If you have questions, need anything clarified, please let me know. Your form responses, they're still open until actually the 22nd. I didn't alter that. And I don't think I will because I have to. So your forms close on the 22nd. I'll send an email about that as well, but this is due on the 24th. That'll allow me to start calculating your form grades ahead of time a little bit as well. You'll get a response for that as well. So I hope everybody's good. Have good days, one for each of you, and please shoot me an email if there's anything you need, anything you need clarified, and stay safe, everyone.